You know how some words just stick with you for the rest of your life? Like how my dad told me I was a waste of space, or how my crush said ew when I went up and talked to her. Those are just a few of my finest examples. But I remember a line from The Hangover that stuck with me till this day. It changed my life, and it goes something like this.
Gambling? Who said anything about gambling? It's not gambling when you know you're going to win.
You hear that? That's the sound of confidence. I've spent the past 3 weeks reading this manga. Imagine gambling, but the main character is crazy and so is everyone else. A gambling manga filled with crazy people. I'm sold. Madarame Baku is just a regular gambler. That's how I introduced myself at the blackjack table. He goes around bankrupting casinos and robbing people of their retirement funds. If you think for a second that you could fool him, then you're the fool. He's the lie eater, and he's gonna eat him all too easily. What? Kaji, on the other hand, does not eat lies. He's the one being lied to, a loser covered with debt. The two met at the pachinko parlor and Kaji helped Baku win $1,000, so as thanks, Baku helps clear his debt. And he does this in one chapter. 2 million yen, poof, easily won in one game, and they do it in spectacular fashion. Now let's take over the world. Usogui is a manga with a whopping 539 chapters. That's 12 main story arcs. It starts off with these two dudes meeting, then they go to an abandoned building, an abandoned mine, a labyrinth, then there's a bull, a TV show, a tower, a ship, a bookstore, an island. The shit they pull off just to gamble is unprecedented, and the games they play aren't just poker and blackjack. That's for casuals. This is the sweats lobby. I'm talking air poker, where they gamble underwater and the chips are oxygen tanks. Hangman, where the man actually gets hanged. There's an entire arc simulating an RPG game on an actual island in real life. These guys are nuts. They bet on perfect timekeeping, on whether any aircraft will pass by the area. They bet on anything at this point. And amidst these bets, there are referees. Kakero is a club that oversees the gambling between their members. It's not easy to join this club. You would have to be one of their 48 exclusive members. And once you join the club, you can never leave. They'll actually hunt you down and kill you if you do. But on the flip side, you get full protection from your gambles, meaning you can raise the stakes so high without the fear of getting shot mid-game and having your bets taken away. Because the referees are there to protect your ass and make sure everything is fair. You can count on the referees to ensure everything stays within the rules. Oh, why don't we just kill the referee then? You can't. These guys are professional hitmen, wanted assassins, they're all lunatics. This guy is overdosed on steroids. This guy plays with his own spit. This guy's on a wheelchair. How the fuck did he even get up there? You're not beating any of these guys. Even the weakest link has the skill to take out a group of mercenaries. And the one who stands at the top is who they call leader. This man has full control of Kakero, and he's got those bunch of madmen on a leash. So the plan is to gamble with the Kakero member, have them bet their membership, beat him, join the club, go on a winning streak, and then challenge the leader in the game so we can take over the world. Capiche? Eiichiro Oda wanted to be a mangaka when he was 4. Geige Akutami began drawing manga in 5th grade, and Tatsuki Fujimoto started drawing professionally right out of high school. Manga authors usually grow up wanting to be an author. It's always been a dream of theirs, and they follow the usual path to get there. This man was a barber. He didn't go to art school or follow the path most authors take. In fact, Sako Toshio only decided to pursue manga seriously in his late 20s. And for the next 11 years of his career, he would go on to perfecting his first serialized work. And when you give a guy that much time to constantly improve his craft, you bet he's gonna go all in. The manga gets better as it goes on. The art style evolved massively over serialization. Early Usogui looks almost like a standard seinen manga, but later arcs become hyper detailed. You can see the faces that emit fear or just sheer insanity. They're the ones who are gambling, but it feels like you're trapped in the gamble alongside the characters. Most mangas run on a weekly basis, so it's a given that authors have their hands full, focusing solely on their work every week, and some fall into the pit of self-doubt in the process. This man started boxing. Sako took up boxing while working on the manga while raising a daughter. This man is a gambler. He's gambling his own health. But he didn't just pick up the sport for fun. Boxing influenced the realism in his manga. That's why the fights are intense. You're not even gonna believe this manga is about gambling. You see how precise the anatomy and impact is in the combat scenes. This is drawn by a man who fights. Sako believed pure mind games eventually become repetitive, so he mixed psychological warfare with real violence. That's why fights in Usogui are so brutal compared to most gambling manga. He wanted the gambling to feel physical and not just intellectual. I was deceived, thinking it's just another gambling manga. The characters are cunning. The author is a master of deceit. This manga is the absolute art of deception. The story is essentially just a series of outsmarting. You thought you've won, but I actually made you think you'd won. And now you think I've tricked you into thinking that I've won, but actually, I made you think that I tricked you into thinking that I've won, and I've won by tricking you into thinking that I've tricked you into thinking that you've lost. We're not Baku, we're more like Kaji. We want to be like Baku and figure out what he's thinking, how far he's thinking. Why is he tapping his fingers? Why is he checking out the pipes? This man is a gambling prodigy, a master manipulator. He's the ultimate deceiver. Each and every move of his has to mean something, and it always seems like everything is a part of his plan. But when things go south, you start to lose faith. Maybe Baku hadn't thought this far. Maybe he miscalculated. Those thoughts circle around your head. And then he rips out the plums and you're like, yeah! Fuck yeah! There's far more depth to Usogui than just gambling for money. The story dives into topics like corruption and criminal activity. Beneath the mind games, there are bad people who are trying to rule the world. So each arc you read in anticipation of seeing how Baku's gonna beat the bad guys. It's almost like a recipe you've seen 1,000 times. All that build-up and suspense just for the protagonist to win like it was part of his grand master plan. So subconsciously you figured he'd be alright. But then he starts freaking out and loses an eye, and it really makes you question, was this a part of the plan? Unknowingly, you've sat at the table with the author and he's playing mind games with you, tricking you into thinking that Baku is always victorious, but before you know it, the main character that we all know is gonna win might just get stabbed through the throat with a dagger. The more you read, the better it gets. The gambles get bigger. The stakes have never been higher. You feel nervous just flipping to the next page. The story gets so intense that I can hear it. You hear that? They talk a lot in this manga. I mean, there's the character's thoughts, the game's rules, why this character did this and why did he do that. It's gonna be a long read. If you're not hooked into one of the games, then it's just a blur, and sometimes it kind of feels like we've lost the plot. I remember a chapter where they were talking about protein and muscle mass. I just started dissociating, like my mind was somewhere else. I was thinking about It's over 500 chapters, and I spent about 3 weeks finishing it. Some days, reading 20 chapters felt like a drag, but towards the end, I was flying through the chapters, itching to read the next. This manga makes you feel a lot of things. The thrill from the gambles, the intensity from the action, and it catches you off guard with how touching it can be. There's a part of the story away from the gambles and away from the fights that just tugs on your heartstrings a bit. Kaji is the opposite of Baku. He's scared, naive, and completely out of his depth. He's a directionless loser drowning in debt and bad decisions. But when you find out that his mom tried to drown him for insurance money and has been financially exploiting him ever since he was a kid, it makes sense how he ended up the way he did. These guys are side characters who are not psychopaths that are willing to gamble their lives away, and it makes them human. Some of them just happen to find themselves on this unfortunate path, and so you sympathize with them. In a manga filled with chaos and craziness, it's these quiet, ordinary moments that somehow stand out the most. It's really magical. Life is a series of gambles. Almost every decision we make involves uncertainty. Quitting your job, trusting a friend, becoming a YouTuber. There's risk in everything we do. No matter how carefully we plan our actions, the possibility of failing still exists. But the possibility of becoming a fucking billionaire at the roulette table also exists. Gambling is a sport. I swear if you watch a motivational video before a game of poker, you would be just as hype as hitting a game winner. You see, it's all about conviction. How far are you willing to go for your beliefs? How strong is your resolve to own a yacht in Miami? How does one line from a movie fuck up your whole life? I believe if you really, really want something, you would do whatever, and I mean whatever, to achieve it. You see how much the characters risk to get what they want, and how much they've lost by getting there. It's a spiral if you look down, but that's not how gambling works. You gotta think about the view, the excitement from coming out on top. It's enough to make your nose bleed, your hair go crazy, and your laughs be hysterical. Oh, what if you lose all your money and go bankrupt? What if I win? See, it's all in the mindset, because if you want to gain a lot, you gotta risk a lot. The rate of bankruptcy is gonna skyrocket after this video. But then again, there are no right or wrong gambles in life. If you're not willing to bet everything on the line, that doesn't mean you've lost. That just means you're a p***y and you need more motivational edits. What I'm trying to say is, when life becomes a gamble, your choices reveal who you truly are. So, do you stand by the truth? Or are you just a big liar?
A lot of people ask me how to stop being addicted to gambling. I never understood, why do you want to quit?
All in on 17 black.
Oh shit, Giggle, you're crazy, man. 17 black.
Lose! I don't lose!
You're right.
I win!
17 black.
I win!
You're right.
That's my job! That's what I do!
Stop! Giggle!
We did not come this far to just break down and lose now. I'm a winner. I'm going to win.
Wow, wasn't that a great video? You know how it could be better? If it weren't fucking copyrighted 6,000 times, oh my goodness! Hi, I'm Danjo, and I have a one-sided love with copyright claims. Except I'm not the one who's loving it. I swear they love me, they get me every time. So to escape their love, I had to make my videos look ugly. Butcher as much of the video as possible so it completely fucks up the entire experience. Yay! Listen, just between you and me, there is a place where I post the full uncut versions of my videos. The music is louder, the edits are longer, and I can say stuff that YouTube will definitely ban my existence for. Tutorials, advice, sneak peeks, and the best version of every single one of my videos, all in one platform. And if you use code danjo20, you can get 20% off your first month. That's $1 saved and you get your name stamped at the end of the video. What a steal! So I suggest you to click the link in the description, join my Patreon, and unlock the full experience today. Promo lasts only for 30 days. So be there or be square. I don't know why I said that. Okay, bye.